Hey guys, how's it going out there today? I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic, and I hope my dog doesn't interrupt us today. Yesterday's video about the Air Jordan 3 Varsity Royals, my dog was just barking away in the corner. I couldn't get her to be quiet and she interrupted us for a couple of seconds, let's put it that way. And fingers crossed she won't be doing that today, although she's looking at me ready for her last meal of the day. So like I say, fingers crossed she won't be interrupting us as we take a look at this shoe. And it's a big shoe for me because it marks, it's a way of sort of marking progress throughout the channel, because originally a while ago I did this right here. That was I think it was the original Zoom Air Jordan 1 and it's maybe called Fearless. Definitely a lot of iridescence going on there. If you shine a light on these guys, you got a full set of different color on there. But when I looked at these guys, it was such a long time ago that I was kind of new to the YouTube game, and I was sort of, well, I knew less about sneakers than I do now, which makes sense because you should always know more the next day than you do the day before, if you know what I'm saying. So now, you know, I'm coming back and visiting today the Air Jordan 1 Zoom again for the second time, and I feel like I can talk more knowledgeably about the shoe, more confidently, and in more detail about it. So it's one of those videos that marks out, you know, the progress of the channel, the progress of myself as a YouTuber and as somebody who loves sneakers and is growing his knowledge of sneakers. So without further ado, let's get into this video today, which is all about the Nike Air Jordan 1 Zoom Rage Green. This is the Tokyo Bada 23 Sneaker Channel, Tokyo Bada 23 Sneaker Channel des. Mainichi upsuru no den, mainichi mite kudasai. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news and sneaker reviews. And today is something like day 550 in a row, non-stop. I said 250 the other day in a video, but it's actually 550 non-stop, every single day videos about sneakers. And today we're, like I say, looking at my second Nike Air Jordan 1 Zoom. Because the first one was those Fearless from before, and then today it's this one that's coming up, and there's an awful lot about this shoe. It's one of those shoes that when I first looked at it, I was kind of like, meh, it's not much to see there. But when I dug into it and looked deeper, I saw some things that I liked on it and things that I really didn't like on it at all. And in particular, like I said, growth at the channel, growth for me. I'm answering that question that I said in the, I don't even know if it's a question in the title of the video, but that thing that I finally know is going on the inside of Jordan 1 Zooms, because I didn't know this before, but as I've grown my knowledge of sneakers, I do know it now. So what we're going to do is very briefly, we're going to put up a GIF, and it's a 2-minute GIF. And forgive me if I don't know if it's GIF or GIF. It might be GIF, but I think it's GIF, but you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I'm going to call it a GIF. And it's only 2 seconds long, so I'll be cycling a little bit. But what it is a Zoom unit, which you would see on the inside of a midsole. Well, you wouldn't see it because it's on the inside of a midsole. But that's the Zoom technology, and the whole point of it, as that GIF or GIF or whatever it's called is showing us back there, is it's got this sort of bounce back ability where that you put your pressure down on the sole and midsole and the outsole of the shoe, and then it bounces back and it gives you a bit more pushback. Now, in terms of running shoes, they're talking about 4% extra out of Zoom technology. So if we're talking 4% extra bounce on a Jordan 1, does that mean that you're going to jump 4% higher to get up to the hoop? Maybe that's what it is. So, but that's what's going on inside the midsole of these Jordan 1 Zooms, and it's all about trading out that Nike Air for Zoom Air. It's still air in there, but it's that bounce stuff. And hopefully what I've done is I've put up the GIF or the GIF, whatever it's called, for a couple of seconds when it's bouncing, and then showing you that picture. And we'll put up it bouncing again, so you've got that idea of the boost, that sort of pushback that it gives you, and that extra bit of jump as you're retaining a bit more of your energy instead of losing it out through the bottom of your shoe. So that's the big thing for me in terms of growth, as far as what is it? What's the difference between a Nike Air Jordan 1 and a Nike Air Jordan 1 Zoom? And that's it right there. If you didn't know that already, then hopefully you appreciate it. If you did know that already, don't laugh at me for not knowing it. Just say well done that you got there, even though we got there before you, and then we'll just move on from it. And speaking of moving on from it, let's have a look at this shoe and look at the details on it. Now, the first thing that I said was, when I was introduced in the video earlier, I said Rage Green in a funny sort of way, because as far as I know, this shoe is actually called the Rage Green. I've seen it called the Green and Black in some places, but I think it's called the Rage Green, according to Japanese websites. And recently, I've been getting better information from my Japanese websites than I've been getting from my overseas and English-speaking websites. So as far as I know, this one's called Rage Green, or not green and black, so Rage Green. So, but if you know for a fact it is called Rage Green, or if you actually know the official name of it, please do let us all know in the comments down below. And then the shoe itself, let's get into look at the details on there, because like I said, there are a few things going on there that are kind of important to look at. Point number one, let's look big. Start with the lateral side of the shoe and look at those the materials on there, because they're quite plush, they're quite premium, quite nice. We're talking about roughed up leather and roughed up suede on there, so it's got a real buttery feel about it, and which lends a different quality to the midfoot where that green section is on there. Because of that roughed up effect, it really gives it a sort of deep feel, whereas when you have just regular leather or even tumbled leather, it's got much more of a 2D feel to it, where these guys, they've got a bit of depth about them because of those materials that they've used on there. But then if we zoom in on that midfoot side, on the lateral, when I was looking at the shoe, like I say, researching the shoe before I come and talk to you guys about it, I was really aware of how distinct the lateral and the medial sides are between the two sides of this particular shoe. So here's the lateral side that we're looking at right now. In fact, I think I'll show you the whole thing instead of just zoomed in, and then we'll switch it out to the medial side. And I don't know if you've noticed the three different things on there that are very, very different. I'm going to talk you through each of those three things right now. So we're on the medial side right now. Let's switch it back to the lateral side and we'll talk about those three different things. Thing number one, I think the place that I want to go with this is I'm going to go up high. So let's go up high to the obvious, which is on all Air Jordan 1s, or most Air Jordan, I would say, is that Wings logo up high. It's a black Wings logo on a black a black Wings logo on a black background. So it very much sort of sinks in there, but I don't mind that in this shoe. Sometimes I'm critical of when the Wings logo and the background match too much and you don't get that contrast, but it kind of fits the rest of the story of this shoe. So I'm actually a bit of a yes as far as that's concerned. But then if we come down for that, number two that's on the lateral side and not the medial side is a little tiny tab that hangs out there that says Zoom. And it's kind of important to have that because this is a Zoom Jordan 1 and not just a regular Jordan 1. So, but that's on the lateral side and not on the medial side. And then the most maybe distinctive feature, I think that's what I'll go with, is if we do look at that midfoot, and you can see the swoosh and the green midfoot there, but more important than that is at either end of that green foot section is a single stitch of green stitching that comes through the sort of upper in one place, only one single stitch on either side, and you'll be able to see it on either side of me here, that green stitch there. So they're the three sort of significant details down the lateral side of these Jordan 1 Zooms. But also staying there, if we take a close-up look at that the swoosh, it's a grey swoosh, but there's a couple of details on that. One is it's got a border around it, so it gives it a bit more of that depth as well, again going with that 3D feature, that 3D effect I was talking about. But also the stitching around this grey swoosh, if I remember rightly, is in green, which gives it another sort of distinctive element to it. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's all clean. I'm pretty happy with this lateral side of the shoe. Don't mind the fact that the medial side, have a look at that again, doesn't have so much going on it. It's a good looking Jordan sneaker, pretty solid. Don't mind the zoom on there as well, because it is a zoom sneaker with that zoom on the midsole. What I do mind is what we're going to go to next, and that's the top of the sneaker and look down from above. We'll start with the tongues, because you can see there, I think it says Zoom Air on the tongues, and I was just like, ooh, cringe. You know, like yesterday I talked in the Varsity Royal video about the Air Jordan 3s, the beautiful sneaker, about how on the back it's got a Jumpman and not a Nike Air, and I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to pull the trigger on those or not, because that Jumpman instead of the Nike Air, this right here, Air Zoom, whoa, no, like this isn't just a sort of question, this is like, no way, it's too much, it's too far beyond, even I can say that confidently, where it's a Jumpman or a Nike Air on the back of the shoe, you know, some people like one, some people like the other. I don't think there'll be many people that say Zoom Air, oh yeah, I'm definitely getting my hands on them. And then if we pan up a little bit from those tongues and look onto that insole again, same motif, same feature, same branding on the insole there, so it's a bit like woo. I don't know, it just makes me cringe. It isn't my thing. I think they should have gone with something else in terms of the branding on there. The little Zoom tab on the side is okay to me, but the full-on Zoom Air branding on the tongue and on the insole, really too much. But you know, the negativity with which I feel the tongue and the insole are sort of balanced out with the positivity of this. What What a fantastic outsole. It was fantastic on the OG Fearless that I talked about already, and it's fantastic on these ones as well. It's fantastic for three different things. One, it's fantastic for its translucence. Translucent outsoles can be really cool on sneakers. Not always, but really in many cases they are, and these guys absolutely popping. But what that translucence looks through to, equally awesome. You've got that sort of rainbow kind of, it's almost a tie-dye or a rainbow or a spectrum effect as the colours fade into one another across the bottom of the sneaker, which is also very cool. But then all the way through that, sprinkled like, I don't know, hundreds and thousands on the top of an ice cream. You've got tiny little Zs, and I remember, or Zs if you're from America. I remember when I did the first one of these guys, I was like, why do they have N's on there? And then I was like, oh, Z's, okay, fair enough. So as far as outsoles go, I mean, it's a great outsole, the translucence, the sort of spectrum of colours, and then those Zs all the way through to represent the zoom on there. So really, really fine. And then we come back to the full sneaker, looking at the whole thing again. It's a nice looking sneaker. I kind of like it. You know, usually it's the kind of thing that if you looked at the different parts, you'd say, Tokyo Butter wouldn't like that. But when they fit all together, it's actually kind of nice butt for that tongue and that insole on there. So it's a definite no for me for many reasons, including something that will come down the line on the channel later about Jordan 1s. But anyway, even if it wasn't for that big thing that's coming, the tongue and the insole being the way they are, I still wouldn't pull the trigger on these guys. But still, it's a cool shoe. I'm sure a lot of people out there will be interested in it, and especially with that zoom technology on the bottom to give you a different feel on the court. Again, that's a big plus for many people out there. And that's me. That's me done for the day. Thank you very much for checking out the content today. Really enjoyed bringing it to you as a fine sneaker to look at. A lot of details on there. Hope you already knew many of them, and if you didn't and I taught you something at the channel today, something new, I'm glad I did. I like to be able to elevate and you know, bring us all up together and have us all, like I said, you know, I'm growing as a YouTuber and as a person who's interested in sneakers, so if we can all do that together, I think that's a really good thing. So for now though, time for me to sign off and do what I do at the end of every single video, which is looking at the camera and tell you that because I do this every single day, you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.